It's going to be a crazy week on the Doc's Diagnosis presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. You know, Dr. Rob, normally we just do one play. You spend some time on that. For today's diagnosis, we're not going to do one play. We're not going to do two plays. We're not going to do three plays. We're doing 4 plays all in one diagnosis.
There was a lot of stuff to look at. There was a lot of problems that came out of this game. So, I mean, it's one of those things, I hate to say it, we kind of had this little bit of a shift back to there's stuff to talk about because things did not go well.
We go in a lot deeper, so make sure to check out the podcast on YouTube. All you have to do is go back and look for this week's episode because we go a long time. We're going to talk a lot about it. Things started off right away, Rob. Let's start it off with the first Illinois touchdown because a lot happened here.
Well, and on this particular play, you know, I thought Nebraska actually did pretty well in terms of the rush. You do get a couple of guys that do come in and get in the quarterback's face here. Kind of the big thing that I want people to key in on is Tommy Hill right up at the top here. Now, he's been playing very strong all season long, but what you're going to end up seeing is just when he comes off the ball on this line, or when the wide receiver comes off the ball, Hill basically gets turned the wrong way. He turns outside, should turn inside on this as he's coming up field with that wide receiver. But it's turning that wrong way that just kind of sort of momentarily gets him out of position and gives the wide receiver
Boom, right
there. Yep,
that's all you needed. Split second.
It gives you one step. Now the thing is you're there coming in, you're basically in the red zone. You don't have enough space on that particular play to make up for that time.
So now we're going to overtime. Game tied at 24. This is the first play from scrimmage in overtime for Illinois.
And it is, and there's a huge hole here. Now, Illinois, they run a read, like a read zone, a read draw on this particular play. And so with that read, by the way, everybody's selling out for run here. The linebackers are coming up playing run. Everybody is looking for run on this particular play. Nobody's biting on pass. Now, the thing that really, I'm still scratching my head over this. And the reason I say that, you got Ty Robinson right here. He's selling out to the inside. Everybody's selling out either to the inside. Linebackers are coming inside. Everybody is playing this as if it's a run and that particular run play is going to be going inside or to the right side of the offense. And what you end up with these guys all coming this direction, they get caught up. There is a huge hole out here for that running back to get through. Now, part of the thing that's interesting to me that I think this is probably some type of blown assignment on the defense is the fact that the running back, if you watch the running back's path, when he comes up to the line of scrimmage, he's hugging really tight here to the end of that formation. He's got all this space out here that he doesn't initially lose, and I even think he was expecting there to be better contain here on this particular play, but as you can see, everybody gets caught up inside, leaves this huge hole, and the running back realizes he's got all this real estate out there to get yardage, sets him up for that touchdown in overtime.
Speaking of the touchdown, here it is. This is the very next play.
And again, on this particular play, you've got the receivers left just completely all by themselves out here on this play. They do run a little bit of a pick here. So if you're watching this, you'll be able to see, and I think it's Isaac Gifford right here, that when the receiver initially comes up, he comes across, and it's an intentional pick play. It's designed to kind of knock him off.
Not illegal, though.
I did not think it was an illegal pick, but you do get that little, what do they call it, like a rub route, or just where you come in and you just bump the guy barely to get him off step. Now, I don't think Gifford's getting out here in order to actually make the play on that particular, on this particular play. I think the bigger issue is the fact that you get, I think it's Malcolm Hartzog and John Bullock get caught up here. You get 2 guys that end up coming up. They're going to stay on the quarterback and no one takes the wide receiver. And so what you're going to see is this guy's going to come up. You'll have 2 Nebraska defenders right here. One of them needs to stay on that running back. It's probably Bullock is my guess, given that he's the linebacker, and I would assume he's on the running back there on that play. But he completely leaves, both of the guys leave that running back completely uncovered for that touchdown right there. So you see those two guys sitting there, and both of them, I guarantee, are looking at each other wondering, okay, well, which one of us was supposed to stay on that guy?
So Nebraska gets the ball back in overtime. They can tie the game. This is the first play from scrimmage, which was a brutal offensive possession for Nebraska.
Well, I mean, basically they just went backwards the entire time. And I mean, the thing that I want people to look at here, it's nothing really crazy, but they run a quick tackle end stunt here, and that's how they get the sack on this particular play. Things that I want people to pay attention to on this one, kind of the key thing in terms of how this one shaped up. I thought Gatula here at left tackle actually did a nice job watching his guy and then coming back inside to pick up that defensive tackle as that defensive tackle came outside. What I thought the problem was is this defensive end, when he came back inside, I just thought Evans at that left guard spot came off of his guy too late in order to be able to pick up that defensive end coming around.
Too much speed there too.
Yeah, and he comes in essentially untouched. But the offensive guard basically just has to stay square to the line, push his guy off to the tackle, who Gatula did a great job picking that guy up. Stay square and just slide back inside and pick up that defensive end. But when you feel that D tackle coming hard outside on you as an offensive guard, you've got to be thinking a tackle end stunt, and that end's going to be coming around, and you've got to be ready for that guy coming around as soon as you feel your guy going hard outside like that.
So lots to work on. Up next is going to be Purdue, first road game of the year for Nebraska. Speaking of the Boilermakers, lost last night, or I should say Saturday night, at Oregon State. Tomorrow on the Doc's Diagnosis, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union, a look at the Boilermakers. That's coming up tomorrow on the Doc's Diagnosis, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union.
Every vehicle eventually reaches the end of its road. When yours has driven its final mile, talk with Centris about your next auto loan. Find low auto loan rates and lenders that care about where you're headed next, both in life and on the road. Apply online at centrisfcu.org.